Hello and welcome to the Spartans Boxing Show. I'm Lakey. We're joined by Mr. Arv Mead, my co-host, Mr. Steve Trendle, who's also a co-host. We're still proudly sponsored by Round One Boxing in Brighton, and we're extremely honoured to have with us, as she's due to leave the country very soon to head to Ghana to have a fight. But Lucy Wildheart, who is the former IBO Intercontinental female lightweight champion and IBO world title challenger. Hello, Lucy, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure for us as well. Real pleasure.
Yes.
Especially
Good afternoon, Lucy. Thanks for coming on.
Especially as we know you're off to Ghana soon, so we'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But what we thought would be really nice for the listeners and is to get a feel for you and find out a bit about you. So, I mean, the first obvious question I've got for you, it's a bit of a boring one, but it's a good one to ask, is how did you get into boxing? How did that come around for you?
So I've always done like combat sports. I started karate very early. I've done probably 10 years of that and some martial arts as well. So it just came natural to me to keep doing some sort of combat sport. And so I remember it was a Tuesday, it was very rainy, and I was biking up to a boxing gym in a very small town. And I just fell in love with it, really. And I remember I said from the first day, I'm going to be a world champion. I'm still on the path. So something special about boxing, that's how it is. So you all know about it.
Yeah. And did you have, I mean, obviously you did the karate and stuff, but did you have any amateur fights, or did you go straight from like the mixed martial arts into boxing, or did you do some amateur contests, or?
You mean in the karate also?
Yeah, in all of it, the boxing, karate. Did you have an amateur boxing career, or did you go straight across to the pros, or?
No, so I started with amateurs in the boxing, and I thought that's a good way to start. I mean, I watched good people on TV early, and I thought like I want to be like them, and they also was pros. So now I started as amateur. It's always a good start, and yeah, there was thoughts about trying to go to Olympics or things like that. But then I realized probably pro boxing with the longer rounds and more work to do and more strategy, all that would suit me more. But I did probably have 4 years amateur. I've been in the national team and so as well. And and then I just got the opportunity to become a pro. So I did it. I jumped straight in.
Excellent.
I mean, Lucy. Sorry, Lakey.
No,
I'm going to say, Lucy, how many amateur fights did you have?
So I had 29.
29. And how did you find it when you changed from the amateurs to the pros? Did you find it a lot different, that like standing and having to plant your feet rather than bounce around? I mean, in the amateurs, we bounce around and we tip-tap. When we go professional, we plant our feet and we throw more power shots rather than bounce around, and you keep your feet flat to get your power and to turn your body and everything. How did you find it from changing from the amateurs to the professional? Did you find the transition quite easily, or did you find it quite hard with changing from the amateurs to the pros?
Yes, so I really enjoyed it because, yeah, as you say, I mean, you plant your feet more and you can sort of punch harder, not harder, but you really get the rotation in and do a good work. And I remember I had a short period in amateur. I had a trainer who was a pro boxer before in Sweden, and he taught me some head movements quite early in my career, and I thought I really enjoyed that because I could slip and they could miss me with the punches, and I thought I could see more of that in the pros, and I wanted to learn more of that. And I always thought it's like tip tapping is a little bit, it's not really me, because back then I was quite like powerful, but I couldn't really use it in amateur. I didn't have time to do it. I wasn't good enough to use it either, so I couldn't really get it together. So in the pros, it's more like, try to go this way and do this, and I could basically start doing what I really like to do. So it was naturally coming to me. Yeah, I really liked it to start.
Lucy, was there a catalyst, or sort of getting yourself to that decision to turn pro? Because obviously, I know you said you had 29 amateur fights. Was it just a case of that you'd had enough doing the amateur fights, and you just wanted to get going, or did someone sort of make that decision for you?
So I was even when I did the amateurs in the end of my career, I started training with a trainer who has with Angeli done the in America for a long time, and he was in Sweden, and we started training together. So I sort of got into this style, more pro style, and I wanted to further that. And at the same time, amateurs in Sweden in the national team, so it was a little bit like not proper set in place, and there was no really way to go in a mix and match, and so I found that a little bit annoying. So because of that, I'm like, I decided no, I go pro and I do my thing. I go my way and I do what I want to do. I mean, it's not always what you want to do, but that's one way. And so I said to this trainer, I want to turn pro, and then we got an opportunity to do it over Poland. So I just went there, just did it, just started off really.
Because pro boxing in Sweden, it was banned. I don't know if it still is. Is it still banned in Sweden, the professional boxing? I know it was banned from sort of like the 1970s.
Yeah.
It was outlawed, wasn't it? It was just like a big no-no.
Yeah, it's not banned anymore, but it's still quite small over in Sweden. And I mean, there's not really money, and it's not enough train or people. If you want to go get sparring, you got to struggle a little bit with that. So it's not ideal maybe to be a pro in Sweden, to be honest. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting better. People trying really hard to make it bigger again because they love it. But, you know, England has a much bigger history. People understand it so totally different way. So yeah, I mean, you got to maybe move out from Sweden if you want to really do something, I think.
And that's exactly what you've done, isn't it? I mean, where are you based? Obviously, you're based in the UK, but whereabouts in the UK you're based at the moment?
So I train out of Church's boxing gym in Waterloo with Sam Mullins.
Okay.
Which is in London. I live in Essex. Yes, a little bit in there.
Essex, nice part of the world.
Yeah, they said it to me when I moved.
Lucy, how are you getting on? Are you finding the longer rounds? You know, because it's not 3-2s anymore now. It's most of the time you're doing 10-2s, aren't you? How are you finding the longer rounds? Are you coping with it well?
I think so. Well, I believe so. I mean, I have better success as more rounds it is. Because I like the strategy, and I like to build things up and use my brain. So more rounds is better for me. Sometimes before I might have been a little bit slow starter. I don't. Yeah. I mean, today I can be a fast starter if I want to, but back then, when I started doing like 6 or 8 rounds, it was much better for me.
So, Lucy, you know, if they trained it from 3 rounds rather than 2 rounds, would that suit you more?
3 minutes. What do you mean 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Yeah.
That suit you more. Sorry.
Yeah, just give me an hour non-stop. Pauses.
Oh, brilliant.
Lucy, I'll pick up on a point that you made. You kind of mentioned the fact that you heavily invest in strategy, and that's something that really sort of gets you going. Do you spend a lot of time before each fight looking at who you're fighting and watching videos of how they fight and sort of trying to work out your tactics? Is that what you do, or does your coach do that for you?
I got to be honest with you. I let my coach, since I started working with Sam Mullins, I let him do that sort of thinking. He speaks with me, we have a look and stuff, and then we start we work towards different styles. So if I have a opponent, I mean, I've had 3 fights cancelled last year, and we work towards these fights out of what he has told me what to do, how we're going to beat this girl. And so I mean, that way we are 2 people together that can put our strength together and try to figure out what we're going to do. Now we're going on, and he's coming with me, and finally we're gonna try to put these bits in place. But yeah, I haven't so much like looking into. I've had a look, but not like deadly looking into. I'm more focused on what I want to do, what I'm gonna do, and then I'm thinking sometimes like they have to follow my rules in the ring, if you see what I mean, without being arrogant or something like that. I focus most of myself and my own performance, and then just correct a little bit to what they do, maybe. Yeah.
Lucy, I know you're going to Ghana Are you going for a title? I never thought. I didn't have a look or nothing. I just wondered, are you fighting for a title out there?
I would love to do. It was spoken. They spoke about it. But then for some reason it's gonna happen later. We've got a good opportunities coming after this fight. So
Okay.
yeah, so this will be just a normal fight, like an 8-rounder, which is great.
8-rounder.
Obviously, like everyone else, haven't fought for 1.5 years, so it'd be good to do that. And then obviously we've got these massive opportunities coming after.
And also, is it just you and your trainer who are going, or have you got anybody else coming over with you? Or is it just the two of you going together?
Yeah, this time we just go because of COVID. So we're going.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
You know, be sure we, you know, be safe and all that. Not bringing too much trouble into it. You know, if someone gets sick, all these sort of things.
Yeah.
How did Ghana come about then? I mean, it's quite an obscure sort of location to go out and get a fight. Or was it just a case that there's just so little going on at the moment that it came up and you were like, well, let's just take this opportunity?
My manager Chris Hitching somehow has sorted out. He obviously knows some people that was going to put a show on or so, and asked if I could be on there. And he basically just told me, what is opportunity? Do you want to do it? And I said, oh, definitely. I mean, Ghana has come out quite good people out there, and so it was really nice to go there, get a little feeling for the country as well. So if I speak about Ghana at some point, you know, I've been there myself. So yes, of course.
So how long are you going to be out there for? I mean, you're leaving obviously today's Sunday. For the people that are listening to this and pre-recorded, because obviously that's how it goes out. But so you're going out there tomorrow. So how long are you going to be out there before the actual fight? You're going to have like a week or so just to get used to your new surroundings out there and find your feet?
Yeah, we're actually going to be here for 2 weeks. So we're leaving tomorrow, Monday, and then it's 2 weeks. On the Saturday, the second week, that's when we fight, and then we go home day after.
Wow.
So it'll be good.
Fantastic.
It's something different, though, isn't it? It's something different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. You know, it's an opportunity and a fantastic one, and you wouldn't. It's not something you want to pass. Really, it's something you want to grab with 2 hands. You know, to go into another country again, fighting over there, and it's all experience as well. So I think you're doing a great thing, and you know,
I mean,
I think it's good to travel, and because it's learning and you see things, and I mean, if that's why I love boxing, because you get to see so much in the world, and it's brilliant.
I mean, your title fight. I mean, we were chatting off air briefly. You had your obviously you were the IBO Intercontinental champion, and then you stepped up to fight for the main IBO world title against Yoka. Is it Yoka Mosley? I think they pronounced it, the French girl.
Yes.
Was an Olympian. I mean, she got the Olympic gold medal. I believe her husband's a heavyweight fighter, isn't he? He won the super heavyweight gold. I think it was in Rio. I think it was the Olympics there. I mean, how was that as an experience for you? I mean, unfortunately, it didn't go. You know, you didn't get the decision on that occasion. But how was that experience? Because that was across in France. I mean, how did that go?
I mean, it's amazing to be able to be able to fight someone that's been at Olympics. First of all, I mean, I love the experience and I love all about it, and I sort of want to prove myself as well. I really enjoyed that fight also, and I thought I got a win before they announced the result.
Right.
But it's what it is. I mean, it's loads of opinions out there, and all mixed or so. But I gotta be honest, I'm very happy with that fight, and I did it, and I did it good. You know, I feel like I'm the winner here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've learned a lot.
Oh,
I mean, Lucy, do you think the decision was fair? Do you think it was a fair decision? What's your opinion? No, that's just.
I don't want to be arrogant. Nothing. I just think it's not a fair decision. I mean, it could go either way. I can say that it could be a draw. It could be different somewhere else. All those sort of things. But you know what it is? It's boxing. I can't expect so much.
Yeah, I'm fortunately fighting away in another.
Exactly that. I was about to say. I mean, obviously, she's the golden girl in France.
Yeah.
The lady you fought, and she, you know, is the Olympic gold medal. You know, she was going to be the home fighter, so it was always going to be.
Right.
You know, let's be totally brutally honest about boxing generally. You know, when you're the away fighter going to face, it's always going to, unless you know, it's the old saying, isn't it? You've got to get the knockout to get a draw. You know, in some of those fights, and you know, the odds are stacked against you straight away. But the experience alone must have been. I mean, like you say, when you go on to your next fights now, and you keep saying, "Oh, I don't want to sound arrogant," but nothing you say sounds arrogant.
Yeah.
It sounds like a competitive athlete, you know, which is brilliant. But
Thank you.
Just the experience alone.
I was going to say, Lucy, an interesting point there, just to pick up on, is that obviously I detect a feeling that, you know, in your mind you won that fight. And you know, if you look at different fights and different fight nights that have been going on, especially of late, some of the decisions that have been made are just outrageous. I mean, do you watch boxing yourself outside of fighting yourself? And, you know, these sort of fights that I'm kind of alluding to, do you sort of look at them and think, how the hell have you made that decision?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Sometimes if I sit here on Saturday, I watch boxing, I don't agree with the decision I've just been seeing, and I'm like, I can be a little bit upset for other people, like, oh, how can they do that? How can, you know, because but it's different eyes, and it's different to watch telly and see what's actually happening there, or if you is beside the ring. But yeah, it's all this, they call it like set up fights, a little bit like that, and I don't think it's fair. I wish it was more. What actually happens is when you can't set up a fight. I actually like it when it's a 50-50 and you're blue clothes and you're red clothes, a little bit like that, and who wins and it's nothing set up. I would appreciate that much more, even if there is I mean, it's, I don't know really what to say, but I don't need to have loads of things to my favor either, you know. I want to fight for my win. That's the truth.
Yes,
absolutely,
I understand.
absolutely. And you're in a really tough division as well at lightweight, aren't you? I mean, obviously I mean, you're in the top 10 of the world now. I mean, in box, when I look on BoxRec rankings, I think you're sat 10th. So you're in that, you know, you're in that upper echelons now in the lightweight division. And obviously sitting atop of that tree, you've got Katie Taylor, who's the undisputed, you know, champion. Unified and undisputed. So I mean, is that where you're aspiring to get? Are you kind of, is that a fight you would enjoy? Do you think you would like to take on someone like Katie Taylor?
Can I just correct a little bit? I haven't fought as a lightweight since probably 2 years, and my last fight was super feather, and I'm going down to featherweight, so 57 kilo.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So,
yeah.
Lightweight, that's 9'9". So you come from 9'9", super featherweight 9 stone 4 to featherweight 9 stone. Am I right?
That's correct.
Wow.
And the funny about it as well, I'm literally walking around as featherweight as well, because I'm done my nutrition very well and my training very well for a long time now. My plan has always been that if I can, you know, be a little bit more lean and strong and fast, that's where my division gonna be. I knew when I went into the pro boxing that I might not end up that where I start. And now I feel like walking around like this, I feel amazing in my body, and I'm more explosive, I'm even stronger, and I can be faster. So I'm definitely here in featherweight. I'm gonna here to stay as well. So it's a little bit different. It's really two divisions different between me and Katie Taylor. But yes, I would love to spar her any day of the week. I would love to.
Wow. So featherweight, that's going to be a big change for you then, because again, obviously lightweight, massively tricky division. Featherweight, again, it's another talented division, isn't it? And especially in female boxing, you know, that's between sort of bantamweight, featherweight, super feather. I mean, you've got some cracking, some really good fighters. I mean, Natasha Jonas, you know, as an example, you know, Ebony Bridges, all of the Carly Skelly, you know, they're bantam, sort of feather, super feather, all around that kind of in and around that weight division. So it's a real hotbed that you're entering. So, you know, extremely competitive, and it sounds like you're going to have a lot of fun around that sort of weight category.
Yeah, gonna be busy. I hope.
Very, very busy. I mean, at the moment on Box, I just had a look because I thought, oh, I must see if they've moved. But see, have you actually fought at Super Feather yet, or is this fight in Ghana going to be the first time?
I have fought at Super Feather end of 2019, and this Ghana, and this in Ghana will be featherweight though. So
right,
yeah.
I mean, Lucy, what do you feel more comfortable at? Featherweight, super featherweight? What do you feel more comfortable at?
Featherweight.
Do you feel more comfortable at that?
Yeah, because it's quite easy for me to make, to be honest. And it's I feel faster. I feel better.
And I was going to say,
healthy.
At lightweight, I mean, I know in women's boxing there's that whole thing. Oh, there's not many knockouts in women's boxing. It's more about the boxing skills, But your record, I mean, it's pretty evenly split for stoppages and distance fights. So, do you feel that at featherweight you're going to? Because to me, that's saying when you were fighting up at lightweight, obviously you've got power. So, do you think are you going to take that power down with you to featherweight? Are you quite confident you're still going to be able to produce those stoppage victories?
I think there will come more of them, but that is more because my boxing skills has become better. Probably, I mean, I've been strong and all that as well, but I've learned so much more boxing that, I mean, the last 8 months, the last year, I learned much more. So with that, I think there will be more stoppages or, basically I just get those sort of shots in, which is quite important. And I've changed a little bit of how to work or learned more about the strategy of how you can build it up or break down, stuff like that as well. I've spoken a lot about it with my trainer. So it's all interesting, and hopefully, it can be happening very soon.
I mean, again, for you, I mean, COVID, with all of the fight, male and female fighters we speak to, amateur, professional, doesn't matter. More so the amateurs who we spoke to the other day, bless them. But for you professional guys, I mean, this COVID has really impacted. Like you said, you had fights cancelled last year. I mean, the frustration that you feel must be, immense. You must be immensely frustrated at, the lack of competitive time you've had. So to combat that, I mean, like you say, you've been concentrated on cutting weight to get down to featherweight, but have you been doing a lot of sparring in the gym, competitive sparring?
Yeah, I've had since end of last summer, I've had really, really good training. We've done sparring, we've done fitness, we've done loads of technical stuff and try new things. And yeah, we've done a lot to try to cover a lot, and I'm very happy for that. Basically, I mean, I've had fights cancelled as well, so I've been training for 2 fights end of last year that didn't happen. So it keeps you motivated. Even if it didn't happen, it has kept you good motivated and had good build up with a harder training, and then you take the training down a little bit because the fight didn't happen, and then you race it again, which is like, it's a little bit like having a fight, but just the fight didn't happen. So I've got the training covered, which is really good, and I've learned a lot for that.
I mean, Lucy, don't you?
Sorry, I was going to say.
No, sorry, carry on.
Sorry, I was going to say, Lucy. I mean, obviously, you mentioned your last fight was 18 months ago, and I know Lakey touched on the COVID aspect, but I'm interested to sort of understand mentally how you've kind of dealt with those emotions and the inactivity, and just have you had highs and lows, and how have you dealt with those?
So I've had my manager Chris Itching, who has been there for me through the whole year, and we have he has set up or planned how next year will be, and we've spoken a lot about this. So always kept me motivated, and I have at home as well. I have all the gym equipment stuff. So I love to train. So I've done a lot of training outdoors last summer and in the autumn. I always try to be better, be fitter, and use the time wisely, but not overtrain. Not too much. I could easily do that otherwise, but I'll try to be sensible, be smart, because I want boxing so much. So I got to be smart, and really, I do have had days that I feel like I'll sit in the sofa for 4 hours in between my sessions, and I just feel like, what am I doing here, really? Why am I sitting in the sofa? Why shouldn't I be on a walk? Exactly like everyone else, when you basically you don't really like yourself, you sit here. But at the same time, that's a part of boxing as well. You're gonna need to relax to be able to do the workouts you're gonna do. Otherwise, you will break down. So I have learned a lot about being relaxed and enjoy the time of do nothing, which I never been good at before. So for that reason, I'm probably more relaxed now into everything. I have a better balance in my head and my body, and when I put them together. So I think for the people that has used COVID as a learning curve, they have become up much stronger than they've been before.
Do you sometimes find, like, you know, you're training for fights, and you know, you train hard and a fight's coming up and then it gets cancelled? Does that sort of dishearten you, make you think, oh, you know, why do I bother? Does that sometimes get you down a bit? You know, you're training hard and then the fight's coming and then it gets cancelled and there's no fight of it. That's very hard, that sort of thing, isn't it? I would imagine for you. How do you find that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very disappointing. I might walk around an hour, be a little bit upset about it, about, oh, I've done this and that and that and that and that. But then at the same time, you gotta ask yourself, like, where do you want to go? This is also a part of boxing. It's happened to all and everyone. It's not only me. I'm not alone on this. So everyone feels the same. And then just you gotta get over it, because otherwise you can be upset for a week and you just break you down yourself even more. You gotta be strong. That if one door is closed, there will be others that will be open. And I mean, there is so many ways to go, and you got to look at the positive, really. Definitely,
and it's a really good mindset to have. So, I mean, in and around boxing at the moment, I mean, are there any fighters that you're kind of looking at around your division? I mean, featherweight at the moment that you're thinking, you know, get this fight in Ghana, let's get this fight done. You know, like you said, it's going to get that probably shake some ring rust off. It's going to get you back in. You know, it's going to be probably blooming hot out in Ghana, so it's a completely different kind of environment totally.
Really for the heat.
once that fight's out of the way, and you know, I'm sure, you know, fingers crossed, it's going to be the win in the win column for you. I mean, what are your plans after that? I mean, who's your promoter? Who promotes you at the moment would be another question.
So I have Chris Hitching, and he does some promotion, but mostly manage me, and all about setting fights up or make things happen. I left that to him, and he obviously, if he finds some opponents or things like that, he will speak with my trainer and look into bits. And I'm going to be honest, I sort of leave all that to them, because then I can focus on performance, and it feels really, really good that we have this great connection. So I mean, in the end, I want to fight everyone, and I hope to do this at their best, because then I can obviously prove to myself that I've done a good progress in myself and with my boxing and all that. So I mean, it's just step by step. I know Chris has loads of plans set in America, so we're looking into that, and that. I won't say too much, but it could possibly happen very close after this fight. We get a debut out there, and then it's rolling. We've got some organizations interested as well, so it's all looking very bright.
It's all coming together, and hopefully, you know, COVID-wise, the restriction, fingers crossed, you know, hopefully the restrictions are going to be starting to ease, and you know, going to be having the crowds back at the fight soon, and. You know, I'm sure that's going to be a big plus for all of the boxers, you know, and like you say, as that happens, I'm sure more doors will open. But America, you know, it sounds like that, you know, that would be very exciting kind of, you know, step forward, wouldn't it? Fight. Have you ever fought in America before? Or would that be, is it always?
No, I haven't, but I look forward to it. It seems to be amazing.
Have you fought in any countries like you fight in?
Yeah, Ghana, that's going to be hard. Oh man, that's a big.
In Ghana, whereabouts are you fighting? Is it a stadium, or is it a sort of purpose-built venue, or whereabouts? Do you know where you're going?
Yeah, so they have an arena there. I think they built it 2016. What is it called? It starts with a B. It's quite a good arena. I think it's about 4,000 seats or something. So it looks, it's all for boxing. It looks really, really nice when you look in the pictures. Can't remember the name. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. As long as it looks. Hopefully, it'll have air conditioning.
Yeah.
You mean outdoors?
Is it outdoor? Is it going to be outdoors? You're going to be fighting outdoors?
Oh, even
Yeah,
more
with some air conditioning outdoors.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh, outdoors. But what an experience! What just itself. I mean, and like you say, if you haven't fought for 18 months, I mean, I'm sure you're just pleased to be able to get the gloves back on, get in the ring, and have a fight. That's what you train for, isn't it?
Oh yes, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy every minute. I promise.
100%. So, I mean, if we always like to ask you, the fighters, do you have good sponsors? I mean, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to sponsorship wise?
Oh, thank you. I love to say a few names there that I've been partnering up with. It's so you've got this IBO, which is our clothes brand. He's making my my fight clothes as well now, and really good quality on those clothes. Then I've partnered up with a Settle CBD, which is CBD oil, which almost all athletes in the CrossFit and boxing they're using. And I've got to be honest, my sleep has increased so good since I started using this oil, and it's life changer.
That's what I need.
You should try it.
Me too. I could do it some too.
Yeah, pass it. What was that? I'm going to scribble that down.
So good, man. And then we work a little bit with the Gym Body, knockout tape, a great tape out there. And then obviously my management team also helping and sponsoring and so stuff. We've got loads coming on as well. So, I mean, if anyone else is interested in what I have going on, I'm very happy to have a chat with you and tell much more between our Zoom call also.
So you're still looking for sponsors. I mean, is there a way for those guys to get or companies to get hold of you? Would it be through Twitter or is there a way they can get hold of you? Twitter,
yes,
or something?
Yeah, they can email me on lucy@wildheart.se or Facebook, Instagram, and I can send my email through there to them. Or get hold of my manager, Chris Hitching, Chris Hitching at iCloud.com, or ask me and I send over his details. So we're looking to make things big. So please get in touch.
Brilliant. And on the subject of Chris, how did you kind of get connected with Chris? I mean, was it by accident, or was it set up, or did you just actually know about him?
It was Andrew Farley. I spoke to Andrew Farley. This was probably 2 years ago, and he said, "You know what? I can probably ask Chris Hitching if you could be on one of his shows, because he's a promoter as well down in Portsmouth." So I contacted Chris and said, "Do you have a show?" Blah blah blah. And then we started talking, and I was in his show. We talked a bit about future shows and things, and then we went to America, which a boxing show there. Met some people out there, and then it just came naturally that I wanted him to become my manager. And then so one day when my other contract ran out, I wanted to step up our level, so I asked if he wanted to become my manager, and he said yes, I would love to. And on that road we are. So it's great. It's great. He's really, really good.
And looked after you, which is the most. I mean, brilliant. Just before we let you go, I mean, Arv, like I say, Arv used to be a former boxer himself, and I'm sure Arv will reinforce what I'm about to say. But as a fighter, having people you can really rely upon, as a management team behind you is really important, isn't it, Arv? I mean, to progress.
Oh, 100%. You want to have people on your side who's looking after you and looking out for you, and it all helps. 100%.
It's important. All about that. It's you are alone in the ring, but at the same time you're not, and that feeling is great to have inside. Really, that you're not doing this only for yourself; it's for your whole team. So you gotta, work together. It will come out much more out of it.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Well, Lucy, I suppose we better let you go because
What?
like I say, we had, go on, Arv. You got another question? Sorry.
One more single. It was one
Go
more
on.
single.
Go
I
for
think it's. I didn't know you done the parachute jumping with
Oh, yeah,
Andrew
yeah,
Fairley and all of them, and I
Yeah.
think it's absolutely fantastic. And I just wanted to mention that. And I know him personally, Andrew Fairley. He's a gentleman. He's a decent bloke, and I think it was absolutely fantastic that you all raised quite a lot of money so far. I don't know if you carry on still raising, but I know that you've raised quite a lot of money, and I think it's absolutely fantastic.
What
And
charity is that for? Just out of interest. Obviously, Andrew got in touch with us and kindly got us in touch with Lucy.
Was it him what got in touch?
Yeah, but
I never had no idea.
Well, I didn't tell you because I don't tell you stuff like that. But, it's just none of your bloody business. No, I'm joking. But you know, what charity is that, guys? Just so it'd be nice to mention on here as well. Whilst we've got Lucy, whilst we've got Lucy.
Lucy, can you remember what it's called? Oh, my memory's terrible. But it's to raise.
It's for the Ringside Rest and Care Festival.
That's it.
Xboxes that basically need some help or so. And we're not only we did skydive, but this year we're gonna do an abseiling down the Spinnaker Tower as well.
Fantastic.
And that has like in a month raised about $4,500, and I'm sure there will be much more as well. It will raise much more. It's a great, probably 18 people we're gonna do it in this spring. I can't wait.
Absolutely, and the Spinnaker. Nah, that's all right. I've watched from afar with that one. Oh, no, heights and me don't go. It's parachuting and then abseiling down the Spinnaker. No.
Oh,
I have woke up in nightmares as well. That how am I going to feel when I do that?
Yeah,
but
well,
it's for the people.
For the tip the hat to you, and like I say, thank you very much. Good luck in Ghana. First off, I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic experience, and the sponsorship side of stuff. I hope people do reach out to you for sponsorship because I know, especially in this current COVID climate, the sponsorship is key to making sure that you guys can carry on doing what you're doing and training and aiming high for success. So yeah, from us, it's good luck and have a safe journey to Ghana. And hopefully, when you come back, let us, is there any way that is that going to be televised as well, by the way, do you know, or is that going to be?
I don't think so, but they will try to film it.
So hopefully it'll be on YouTube or something like that, so we can catch and watch it, which would be fabulous. But thank you very much, Lucy, and thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you, Lucy. Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Lucy.
Thank you so much.
We can't wait to see your career progress. We're very excited. And good luck. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.